I think we should just start out with discussing our week. Um, and then we should jump into the lovable thing. And I don't remember
Yeah.
what else did we talk about. It wasn't just lovable, it was also
And it was the lovable agencies that are linked
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah,
the
but
on the thing.
did we have other like vibe coding things? I think so,
I
right?
think it was lovable and bold.
Yeah, yeah. We'll pull this up.
Dude, there's so many of these vibe coding startups that I always see like gaining like they're raising cash, and it's like
Yeah.
there's so many of them. It's wild.
It's also the fucking we talked about it last week, right? The A0 stuff and this other thing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I think it is even bold, right? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Bolt is one of them. I also had another one. Wait, let me check my bookmarks here. Da, 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 da. It's just I don't know. It really feels like it feels like the .com thing, even though a million people have already said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting
Da-da.
flashbang by these sites. Okay,
Is
maybe let's
Twitter
just talk
working?
about the lovable things later, right?
Yeah, is Twitter working for
Not
you?
the
For me,
bold,
Twitter's.
because I can't find any bold agencies.
No,
Oh, okay.
only lovable has this page. But for me, it's working. Yeah, Twitter is working.
Okay,
My
okay.
camera is just chopped. I don't know why, but yeah, whatever.
Gotcha.
What's chopped?
My camera on X looks like shit.
Yeah, it does. I think your bitrate is kinda ass.
Wait.
Because when you move it, now it's yeah. I'm on the
It's
pro
sort
plan, by the way. I'm on the life plan, not the. So it should be good. It shouldn't be any like
Yeah,
performance issues because of Riverside.
I turned off like VLAN. Now using like Ethernet, so it should be better.
Cool. So do we just start
Oh, yeah,
out
you
with maybe Konstantin? You can tell us about your sales
Dude.
run.
Yeah. So like I'm going to like holidays, or at least like holidays. I have to work, but yeah, next Monday. So before that, I wanted to get as much outreach as possible in with my co-founder. So this week, like last week, we did two runs. This week we did two as well. And today was another one. And let me check my notes. I think we went to about 11 companies. And as usually, it worked quite well. We had like one company. We had a talk with the CEO immediately. Like he asked us in and gave us coffee, and we basically talked with him for like 40 minutes. So that's cool.
How big are those companies? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. So the last time we went out, we had a problem that the companies were too big. Like at the beginning, it was like 250 mil upwards, like yearly revenue, and there's obviously hard to get someone to talk. They always just give you the info address, and if you're lucky or if you try really hard, they give you one person you can like write the email to, but mostly it doesn't work. So today, at the beginning, we went to like, it always happens that we try to get a little bit greedy and go to the super large companies at the beginning, but then you get humbled quite quick. And then we went down to our ICP. So let's say between like 2 and 25 million yearly revenue. And there the success rate was way better. So we got asked in twice. Once was kind of sad because like we have mostly manufacturing companies in the area where we live. And a lot of the times it happens that they are like struggling economically. And today we had that again. So literally every outreach day we're doing, there's at least 1 to 3 companies that say, okay, we would love to do your service or have it, but we're not like sure how the future of the company is looking. We had the same thing today. Like they were quite relatively soon, they will put their workers in like Kurzarbeit. I'm not sure what that's in English. So they're basically like working for 50% of the time.
So
yeah, part-time.
Part-time.
Yeah, exactly. Forced part-time. And it would be too bad for the company image to like send their workers into forced part-time and then work on an AI automation in the meantime.
Yeah.
Would be like quite bad cosmetics. But yeah, he was also nice and asked us in, and for I think literally every other company except one company wasn't interested, and for all of the other ones we got a like definitive person to talk to via mail or via like,
do you
phone.
treat this as a conversion already, or is it
No,
it's just
we just
second step, right?
Yeah, exactly. What we do afterwards is to send them emails with what we, in the best case, we talked about something already. Then we always send a quick recap of the talk we had, and we always send a cal.com link for a initial qualification call. At the moment that happens, we count it as conversion.
Have you tried if they're economically struggling, saying this also sounds bad, but if we let you fire X amount, you basically give us half their paycheck or something.
The problem there is that if you talk to we kind of always have to be careful there. First, obviously the workers are important, but the main part is that if you talk to the CEO or to higher management, they're generally really receptive to the point of automating people, but often you have to start at, for example, this guy was he was in sales, so he would be also someone who could be automated. So then you have to be careful how you frame it. Obviously, and it's more about helping to improve the efficiency and stuff like that. Also, especially in the beginning, you need it anyways because you have to have some process owner who checks the results, right?
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't. Yeah, it's difficult to sort of because you need to pitch the CEO, and anybody else would sort of block you, right? So yeah.
Exactly. And I think it's super interesting. Maybe you guys heard about the automation spectrum from Karpathy, where he uses the Iron Man suit as a sliding window?
No.
We can pull stuff up now, right?
Yeah, I was going into our presentation and trying to show you.
And should we actually do a Google Slides in the future?
Right.
Might be funny, maybe, I don't know.
I have it here. I think we could just go into that real quick.
I don't know if I'm looking at the correct thing. It doesn't seem like it.
I can
Automation by Karpathy.
Okay, so you guys can see this one, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, that's just for us, but it's basically the same thing as Karpathy talks about. He has this analogy of where you go from first step, first Iron Man movies, you are in the suit and it just augments what you're doing, and later on they fly around autonomously, right? And that's also what we always try to sell or try to pitch. We always have no digitalization, automation at all, which is the worst case. Obviously, best case you have full automation. What the fuck? And you always have to go through the semi-automation step. And I think that's something that's kind of nice to think about, even when building applications in your case.
Yeah.
What's the first image? Is it
it's a pile of paper.
Pile of paper. Makes sense.
Yeah.
This is your average office in the 1980s.
Yeah. Oh no, the average German office right today.
Okay.
But, should we do a presentation in the future? Slides?
Would be fun.
It's actually probably good, yeah. Because people
we can just dump stuff onto that, right?
Yeah.
During the week.
People will have something to sort of look at while listening to the podcast. But yeah, if you're doing this slight incremental thing, it needs to be a company that has money to spend or whatever, or is not even money that's willing to spend, right? Because some companies don't have money, but they'll go into debt or whatever. But yeah.
So last time we talked, you said that you who do you talk to most of the time when you talk to these companies? What's the most common person you talk to? Is it just front desk? Because you just go there, right?
Yeah. Do you mean when we go there or when we after conversion?
I mean both.
Okay. So when we
in the first case, I assume it's just some guy, right?
Yeah. In the it depends. Best case, we find someone outside who's working there, and they usually if you just tell them you're from this company, that's what you're doing. If there's someone we could talk to, they're often not quite sure if you have an appointment or whatever, so they get someone. That's best case. Worst case is a lady at the front desk, because that most of the sometimes they're super cool and super friendly, and they just try to get someone for you. And if they also understand what you're doing and you're just friendly, but a lot of the times front desk is just the worst thing that could happen. So I think just front desk has horrible conversion rate. The moment we haven't tracked for the most recent runs, but the moment we are able to talk to someone from the company, conversion rate goes up like crazy. And conversion rate, I'm meaning just booking the qualification call.
Yeah, because you have the foot in the door, right? At
exactly.
This point. Yeah. They see maybe even once you. That's also what I see, right? If I have that's why I'm fine with having 3 to 4 unpaid calls, because once you have like 5 hours of just time spent, they feel the need to do something, right? They don't just want to throw away this time, basically. Like they feel invested, even if the meetings were trash, kinda, and we weren't aligned at all. Most of the time, I mean, I don't know how it works for you guys. We talked about this like in the past, but we can talk about it again. How does it work when you reach this step? Because I assume all of this is obviously unpaid, right? You go there, you talk to some guy, you talk to some other guy, and these are like, I don't know, how long is it? For me, this is on average, like this period is like 3 to 5 hours usually. I try to cap it. Sometimes it's even 20 hours.
We mostly, like for the clients, we then also close, we track it. Like we already put it in our like time tracking, so we can at the end have a like certain degree, like what we really made per hour or per project with all the initial investment.
Do you try to sell it? Like,
what do you mean? Process workshops or what?
No, I mean, after like once you close them, do you don't invoice those, right?
No.
They're like Anbanu, like
no
intro, yeah.
No. Like we have two cases. Like we have a light version, for example. Like if a company, we do this first call, and then if a company has a process already, we do the process workshop, and then we send them an offer. And in my opinion, already an offer is valuable quite a lot, because like if you lay out what are the technical modules and pricing, you could just take that and go to someone else. So that's already valuable.
Yeah.
And if they don't know that, we try to sell them a process workshop, which is paid, which we haven't sold so far, because usually people are like, I'm paying for something and then I don't have anything at the end. Sure, you have a document and like consulting, but so far it didn't work for us.
Consulting is really hard, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like in German-speaking countries, selling consultant services, if you don't have the credentials, is like insanely hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they don't get it. And usually, I mean, it is consulting, right? Those 3 to 5 hours, they're like actual consulting. Like maybe the first hour isn't, because you just get to know the people, but technically, and I've been trying to do this as well. If you talk to bigger companies, I think I'm way too lenient on just giving them free consulting, basically. Because it's, as you said, right? This can be a sales strategy to give them the proposal, like to give them a nice proposal, an estimate, all of that, right? But also if it's a big company, they should be paying for that.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
I'm not like, I actually want to get better at this, where it's about positioning, right? Because I don't position myself as a consultant first. I think if you do, you can sell those, right?
But I think it also depends on like what type of selling. For example, like if you look at something like straight line sales from Jordan Belfort, right? Where you would just sell a product and you kind of, it's not pushy sales, but it's more of an emotional sale, and they just buy a product or an like electronic product or whatever, then you can kind of move to the sale quicker. But if it's something like tech, I think for us, it's because like we have to have a lot of data. It's really close, like into the company's processes. And for you, it's the same, or like not the same, but similar, because it has to match what they're thinking of. It has to be somewhat more creative, and it has to be more aligned with the company itself. I think you have to do more of a like strategic selling or consultancy selling, where it's just upfront cost, which you can calculate in, obviously.
Yeah, I think I've never thought of it that way, but like, yeah, every successful sale I've had, I've basically had to walk them through how the product would need to be built, what the steps would need to be, da da da. And well, the way I do it, I involve myself in the picture. I'm saying, okay, when we sign this deal, we are going to be doing this, da da da, and I'm basically planning everything. But like, it is basically like free consulting. It's like beating the dead horse, like a lead magnet. You're giving them something for free, so they trust you.
Sure.
Yeah.
You need to involve you. That's also what I'm doing, right? I even go a step further, and I tell them that, with other agencies or with other devs, you would be looking at this and that, right? You would be looking at 50 hours more for like intro. You would be looking at, for example, one sales route I always go for is, or I recently went with is, telling them that having all these middle managers, when they go with, because usually the people I talk to, right, which are like marketing teams and stuff, they like to have hierarchies of middle managers because they are accustomed to that, right? And when I tell them that I'm the sales guy, I'm also the dev, and I'm also the designer most of the time, they are in shock, right? They don't get
Right.
it. So
Yeah.
what I'm doing the first 2 calls usually is I try to explain that this is not necessarily a bad thing, right? It's actually a good thing because there's so much less communication needed. And that's what you said, right? Basically, you tell them, okay, this is an accurate estimate of my workflow, right? If you go to someone else, it might look completely different. And then if they have this customized estimation, they can't really do anything about it, right? Because if you tell them straight up, okay, with different agencies, they might be faster in like dev because they can push it out in like a month because they have 10 devs. But then the overall hours will increase like twofold, right? Then at this point usually you get the deal, right?
I
This
feel
is
like
how it
that's
works for me.
pretty. I've never tried it in particular. Like I've done it in a slight extent, but like I don't really push that. But I do think like because people always believe your side. Like the example I see from Hermosi is like he says like if you're like a small team or like if you're like a single guy, you could be like, oh, if you go with them, you're just like a number in the list. You're gonna meet with some sales guy, da da da. They're not really gonna care. Whereas if you work with me, then I'm gonna be, you're gonna have my full attention, da da da. And like I feel like that sort of way of pitching your differentiators, like it's probably way more because they just assume they're on the winning team. They assume they're on the inside, basically. It's like,
Is it
it's like
is it
you and
just
him
like
talking.
about
Yeah.
doing it like as a boutique service?
Did I just drop?
It's
What do
just
you
like
mean?
Because you guys just
Yep,
did you hear me?
Yeah.
You did, right? Okay.
I can see
It's
you,
fine.
yeah.
I think my internet had like
Oh, gotcha.
situation.
But yeah, he asked if it was
Just
a boutique service. What do you mean, like
I mean, it
the
basically
clients or?
just branding, like same thing, but higher. Like obviously, you would need to higher prices as well. I think it's popping up everywhere, like boutique fitness trainer. Like I only take this many clients, especially if you mentioned
Oh,
Hormozy, right? Then you add also scarcity to that. I'm only taking three clients this quarter, stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
So you
yeah.
can have to or like boutique car. We were at a car dealership recently, and they're basically a boutique car dealership. They only have really like I think the cheapest car in their lot was like 300K upwards, and they're just 2 people. They
Gotcha.
have a really nice room with like they have like nice setting. They have champagne, and like people come there and like they do 2-on-1 sales for that. And it basically at the end of the day, it's a car shop, car dealership,
Yeah,
but it's like
yeah,
they're doing it. We're just doing it for you, and
yeah,
we're
yeah,
just
yeah,
trying to get the car you want, not
yeah,
just
But that's the way to go, right?
yeah.
That's what you
yeah.
should be doing. And I think that's also so fucking EU pilled. Because we can't do. I don't know if you agree with this, but I think that's also what people expect, right? Because if they want to be like this number in a list and they want a cheaper service, they would go to like India or someplace else anyway, right? They would go to like huge outsourcing agency, get their shitty MVP build, right? That's also why I don't believe in EU MVP agencies, like the cheap ones, right?
Mhm.
Like, what are you even trying to do here, right? If
But
a client
Yeah.
comes to me,
mhm.
they want to have a product build, right? Not an MVP usually. So I have a really hard time understanding, like for example, all these, you know them, right? You guys know them, all the EU MVP agency owners on X. Do you also have them in your mutuals or not?
Mm-mm.
You don't? Okay, I have like a
I
bunch
have
of them.
some of them. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I have
It's
some of
like for
them.
me, it's like hard to understand. Maybe it works, right? I assume they heavily outsource themselves. It has to be like that because otherwise it doesn't make sense. For myself, I could never imagine selling a client an unfinished product for no amount.
Yeah, I think
It
it's
wouldn't
it's
work.
fundamentally unfinished. Yeah, my guess is like it's an unfinished card app with like a chatbot, and that's like your AI app. That's your AI.
Yeah, but the weird thing is EU audiences, I don't know if you agree, Konstantin, but in my mind, they don't fuck with this at all. Like paying for an unfinished product. Maybe some, right? If they are like, I don't know, if they are themselves like MVP build, but
Mhm.
I don't see it.
Like
I
I
think it's
think
for
especially in
for
like in
racing.
Germany that wouldn't fly. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm completely wrong. But like, I think the other part is I think it could even work here if you're doing it well, because from just what maybe it's just our niche where we're currently trying to get customers, but from the people we talk to, some people don't even know something like an Indian MVP agency exists. Like they're so far disconnected from the internet, you could say.
That
They're
is
the
true.
best in what they're doing, like some tiny screw that goes into a, like, let's say, just some crazy motorsport Porsche thing, which is only used on the racetrack. They just built this thing. They do that perfectly. They're the best in the world for that. They do it for Porsche and Pagani. That's all they do. And they just sell to those two companies. They make a few millions a year. They don't know what a MVP even is. So I think like companies there are quite underserved.
I mean, that might be the sales angle, right? That might be the
Yeah.
answer to my question, how this works in.
But then
in
again,
real,
those people
right?
wouldn't want to. If you think about it, if you build the best like screw for a little like fuel pump in a racing car, you wouldn't be satisfied with a halfly
Yeah.
finished product because you build perfection. Why would you want something that's just halfway there?
In general, broken doesn't fly. Like it just does. I think, and that's also why my estimates are like. My estimates are brutal usually. Usually when a company comes to me and they're asking for a proposal, right? This happens a lot. I don't know if it happens because I'm in this situation where I have most of my clients are inbound. So when they ask for a proposal, my proposals usually are brutal. Like I know for a fact that my proposals are higher than what other people are, like what other companies are offering, right? But I always tell them that it's not going to be MVP stage. It's not going to be unpolished. It's going to work. And if something doesn't work, I'm going to cover those hours, right? They are going to be unpaid. If it's on me, I'm going to fix the stuff, right? So, and this works for me incredibly well, right? Because once you deliver once, word of mouth spreads, right? You deliver twice, spreads again. It just, and this creates like a nice network of inbounds.
Yeah.
Obviously you lose. Sometimes you lose massively, right? But then again, do I really lose? Like obviously I work maybe like 5 to 10 hours unpaid, right? If there's like a bug, maybe there's even a miscommunication, and it's not even a bug in my eyes, but still, like it's way better than I just could never imagine selling unfinished products because the client is gonna be mad afterwards, right? Which means you don't get the referrals, which means you don't get the inbounds. So now I'm doing sales, right? And
Yeah, and
I
also
feel
like, sorry, first.
I was just gonna say like the whole idea of an MVP. I feel like that only makes sense if you're either raising or if you're sort of selling like you're trying to close a client and you just need like a brutal like 24-hour MVP to just say, hey, we could build this for you. Basically, like what Constantine might have for like a CEO today. You know what I mean? But like unless you're trying to sell it to somebody else and then actually build the thing later, and like for a real company who just wants something for themselves, an MVP just does not make sense. But yeah, go ahead.
I think it would be like you mentioned Hormozy earlier, and he has this like ratio of like one for one bad client, like bad word of mouth. You have to get at least like 10 to 20 good ones. And for me, it would be just too risky. If you deliver one shitty product, you have to basically work uphill for the next like 10 to 20. And I'm not sure about like, I think it's quite similar in Austria. I can just say in Germany it is. The people talk, and a lot of stuff here goes by like, okay, I know this guy who does this, and if they tell you, okay, this guy fucked my shit up, for example, you can literally not go to whole cities because everyone there would know. So
yeah, because there's not
Gotcha.
as much technical, like it's a niche, right? Like you can obviously it's like oversaturated on the web, right? Like you see all
Right.
of those freelancers, and we're also in this bubble, right? On X, we're in this huge bubble, but I can count the web agencies or like app agencies in Vienna on like two hands. Obviously there's like a few tiny ones or like fake businesses, right?
Right. But the
But there's
legitimate
not
ones,
many. Like if I fuck
yeah.
up, like I'm not well known at all, but still your agencies and Vienna isn't a small city, right? It's like pretty
Yeah.
big. And the same, yeah, I think and the same goes for many European countries. I don't think it's the same when you go to like even when you go to like UK, I would assume it's different than here. I don't know if you agree. It's like a Central European thing, I think. Also Eastern Europe, I don't think it works like that. If you fuck up, I don't think
You
it
get
matters
marked.
as much. Because I know for a fact,
You don't think
I
it
know,
matters?
like I have,
No, I mean in Eastern Europe, if you fuck up, you get marked. You just get like
Oh
pulled off
yeah.
the streets.
in tech, nah. I don't think, like, I think the quality standards are like lower, to be honest. So I work a lot with like Polish devs. They
So
aren't
like
bad, but they don't care about, like, I'm always amazed by how they just don't care about the outcome, right? Like, for example, if a PM fucks up and it's like a bad business decision, right? They just
Yeah.
implement it. They know it's bad, but they implement it. No,
They just
no
kind of go
questions
with it.
asked, right? They
Yeah,
just execute, and it's good. Like, I honestly, if I could, I would do the same, right? But I can't. Because
Yeah,
if I did, I would be in big trouble, right? Like,
yeah.
so yeah, it's super interesting. To be honest, like, whenever I hear someone on X who's European has an MVP agency, I immediately go to just not believing them. Like, I just completely
Yeah,
have
I
like
think it's
80% distrust of any
I think it
any MRR post, any
yeah.
success story. To me, it's, I don't know, it's just weird in my mind. But
Like I think it's they learn like React, like they learn React and like whatever basic JS, and they get Cursor, and then they say, okay, what can I build? They can't build a real reliable product that they can be held accountable for, and so they just say, I'll build you an MVP. I'm super fast, and like I think it's also a lot of that. Where like
But
they I don't think they could hold themselves accountable for building like a real product that's that's not buggy and all this.
but then again, I think even like for your customers, like I think Phil, you worked a little bit with like startups as well, right? You work with startups. For like literally no company we had talks so far was like cared anything about how fast it was. They were always like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna start in like 3 or 4 weeks," or do you need the info materials faster? It was never like, "Oh guys, we need this tomorrow. Please build it as fast as possible." It's always like, "Okay, we need it sometimes. Maybe like next quarter would be nice, and it should work."
yeah, to be honest, for me, I've seen projects where there was like a deadline, right? Because they wanted to pitch to someone. This was like, for example, the project we worked on at SMR, we worked on together this
Yeah.
app, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to know what this was? You know the
For
amount
me?
of polish that went into this, right? On my end,
Yeah.
this was a fucking MVP project. On the proposal, it said MVP.
Oh,
And
okay.
you get what I mean, right? So,
Yeah,
Constantine, for your understanding, it was like a full thing. Like, I spent
It was a
60 hours doing front end.
yeah, it was a
It was like insane polish.
yeah.
And this was an
It was a-
MVP project because, and that's the funny
Oh.
thing. I've seen MVP projects and I've been hired for these projects as a white label agency, but usually they are nowhere close to what an MVP is on X, right? They are like,
Yeah.
just basically they are the version 1 of the project, and the company expects
Initial
to
commit.
build upon this, right? They don't expect us to just trash this foundation. That would be no. And this is also a German thing, by the way, right? I don't think Germans get this idea of paying for something, which is a demo, and then they just throw it away. This doesn't, like, for my clients, this doesn't work, right? They pay for something.
Yeah.
They want to get value.
If I paid
right?
for it, I need I
I think that's also why like our potentially it's also skill issues as always, but I think that's also why our workshop doesn't really fly here, because people are like, at the end I just have a list with like processes that are like prioritized, but nothing is working for me, right? It's kind of the same thing. There is some value to it, but it's not that they have something for them, right? It would be just like information, but information isn't enough there.
Let me share this, actually, what you just sent.
Yeah, I think that's really nice to think about.
So what's here? Okay, SLC, simple, lovable. Oh, this is the segue.
I think I shared
into the lovable.
I think I
simple, lovable, and complete. Yeah, that's basically what it is, right?
Yeah. Like the way they categorize, from my understanding with the project that we worked on, it's an MVP because it doesn't have like a million features. It has like a couple features, but like they're
Yeah.
really well done.
I think just a section there would kind of nailed what you said. Like the motivation behind the MVP is still valid. Like build something small because small things are quick, blah blah blah, or trash it or hard pivot. I think that's the most like useful thing to do. Like build something, show it investors, they don't like it, trash it, build something new. Kind of.
It's basically like, for example, on Zero Cred, right? When we started working on it, I was like, actually, I have and I usually call it proof of concept. I don't call it MVP.
Yeah, same.
Because I think MVP, you know what I dislike about the term MVP? MVP, in most people's definition, is never fucking viable.
Yeah.
Like, it just isn't. Maybe it would have been like 10 years ago when web apps were like all trash and you could literally just vomit something out. But I think the quality standard for web apps has fundamentally changed, right?
Yeah.
Because I can just prompt some garbage in like 5 minutes, right? I can use fucking Lovable and vomit something out, which would have been a viable product 10 years ago. I actually believe that. But now I would call those viable products. I actually never built those. Like these somewhat polished, but not really viable, not really doing anything, just like garbage slop, right?
It's
I would
literally
never
a demo.
build those.
It's a
Usually
demo
it should
for a
be,
product. Yeah.
in my mind, it should be POCs, which I think is simple, right? POC would literally just be maybe like 2 functions and a fucking input field, right?
That's like how you guys, I think not that much, right? You're not building POCs because what we're currently doing is that when a project starts, we build a proof of concept with all the hard technical moving parts, or hard. It's just can I talk to the ERP?
Right,
Does it work? Just basic flows. And then after the proof of concept is like working, we show that to the client, and then the first half of the invoice is sent, and then after it's finished, the second half. So that's how we're using it.
Yeah, for me, I never built those, right?
Yeah.
I obviously do if a client, like if I also never sell those. When I work on an MVP, for example, on our app project, I was the white label agency, right? Then I just accept whatever's on my table, obviously, and I don't really care about it. But I personally would never sell an MVP. Also, I don't build them because I think they serve no purpose in today's world, right? Maybe again, 10 years ago, you could build an MVP and actually impress someone, right? Like impress investors. I don't think, like, I think even if you're talking investors, right? A proof of concept does more than, not more, but it's a proof of concept has like, gets you more trust than a fucking vibe coded MVP in my mind, right? And because it's less time investment and it just does the thing you want to showcase, right? Like, do you remember, SMR, when I showed you the POC for like this super simple thing, the verification for Zero Grad, right? It was like 5 minutes to show you. It just did the thing. Obviously, we completely trashed this, right? Nothing landed inside the finished Zero Grad code base, but it did its job, right?
I think that's because we're developers. I think if I was, like if I did not care about the product and if all I cared about was raising, I don't think investors really care about like if each button works or whatever. They'll say, oh, you know, they're building it or whatever. So I think having like a half-baked, unfinished, sloppily built MVP, as Twitter would have it, was probably better for short-term like raising.
But why wouldn't you just why wouldn't you just do a Figma board with like animations to click through?
Yeah, I think, you know what I think, honestly? I would actually, it would be super interesting to actually get an investor on board for this, because I don't actually know, right?
Yeah,
like
that would be...
I don't actually know, because I would assume with as much garbage as there is online right now, right? Do you think they would give 2 fucks about you sending them like a Lovable MVP? I doubt it, right? Unless it's like old school investor. But
then again, I think more like idea and execution, right? If you wouldn't even need it, right?
Because they invest in you most of all anyway, right? If you're talking like super early stage, or they invest in what you did in the past, right? I don't know but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe MVP is actually something that is like invest, because this app we worked on, this was to raise, right? It wasn't fundamentally, I mean, they tried to get users with this, but I think that wasn't the number one motivation behind it.
I don't have one right now, but like I feel like I've seen like SF startups announce they've raised, and then you go to their landing page and it's cursor, it's like built with cursor, like, and it's just, that's your standard, and you've seen it a million times, right? Like
Yeah,
with
but that's the
with
landing
each
page,
site.
right? So maybe the
Right,
landing
but what
page, they
does
just vibe it up, right? But and also,
yeah,
like SF startups, I don't know, maybe it works differently there, right? But when
yeah,
I'm
okay,
talking
yeah,
like
yeah. But in yeah, okay, in any
German
other partner,
investors, right? EU
yeah,
investors, I think, because I mean, I really don't know. I don't know if I'm really not comfortable talking about it because maybe it's just fundamental garbage what I'm saying. So
yeah,
maybe we
yeah,
can
yeah.
get some investor on board for this. We
For
can
someone who
have
raced
another,
before.
So
yeah.
true, so
I mean, we
true.
can get Vlad, and I know for a fact Vlad he raced right recently, and
Yeah.
he had a
Okay, yeah,
POC,
that's actually
not
a
an
good.
MVP. He
Yeah,
had
yeah.
this, so maybe we can get him on board for like next week.
Yeah, I think we can, like, with longer time frame. At some time we can like also talk to some VCs, or some people
Yeah.
who raised quite a bit. I have some in mind, but
And
yeah.
we will need to ask, right? I
Yeah.
also have a few people in my followers and stuff. Also Angels, but I think Angels is like, I would actually like to talk to some, like, do you know Speed Invest, for example? I think we might have talked about it already. Constantine, do you know it? It's like one of the biggest like VC firm.
The AZ16 one, like where they
No,
invest
Speed
like in
Invest is like
gaming and
I
stuff.
think it's Austrian even. Let me check.
Oh, I think yeah. The
I
for
might have told you about it.
early
I don't know
stage
if you remember.
European startups, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a few guys that are in Vienna, so maybe we can get someone.
Mhm.
Um,
Pretty cool.
but yeah, I think this is actually perfect segue to go into Lovable, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if this was planned.
Dude,
Constantine,
nothing is planned.
Everything's planned.
Oh, everything.
everything
Sorry,
is
everything's
planned.
planned.
I actually have it open anyway. So I don't think we need to talk about Lovable, right? Have any of you guys ever used it?
Nope.
Me neither.
I mean, my landing page is Behold Level, but that was like
Really?
a again.
Oh, so we
Well,
have
that
an
was a
expert on
quick.
here. That's good.
No, that
Can you
was
walk? Was this your first time using it?
yeah, it was my first
Can
time
you
using it.
like
I think I still
do
have
you
it
have
in
the
my
account? Like, can you screen share how it looks inside? Would be interesting.
yeah. Wait, let me
Never
actually
saw that.
go to lovable.dev and let me sign in. But yeah, I was basically signing up for Stripe, and to verify your business, they ask for like a landing page. So I was just like, okay, let me go quickly build something. Ba-da-bum.
What do you guys think about the branding of Lovable? This is like a different topic, but
Yeah.
I always
It's kind
found
of
it incredibly weird. Like I don't get
yeah,
why it's
it's
called
quite weird.
Lovable. It looks like a
Because you
dating app.
build lovable software.
Well, yeah, but it's too general. It's too generic. It's like saying good. It's like
But
saying good
I'm not
dot
sure. I
dev.
think like lovable is a thing where we might be too dev brain for it.
Yeah,
Because like
yeah.
if
It's
you just think like, especially like Figma versus Canva. I was always thinking like, who the hell uses Canva? I could never understand who uses Canva. But then like my girlfriend started using it, and every one of her colleagues in like she was doing like marketing for a like bigger company in the region. Everyone was using Canva. So I think it's
yeah.
just like non-overlapping markets or something, which is just a distilled down version. And I'm like, why would you even like? Why would you use like Figma? Is
Why
so
would you
easy.
consider using
Yeah,
it?
but
Yeah.
for some people, it's like, dude, where are the buttons? What do I do in Figma? And in Canva, you just choose a template, you drag something in there and do whatever. I don't know. And I think that might be interesting. And like, I think even valuation wise, Canva is kind of closer. Even I would need to check, but is even like more valuable than Figma relatively soon,
No, I
because
mean it's the
market
normie.
is larger.
It's the normie audience, right? Like I
Yeah.
think Canva is the consumer audience, and
Yeah.
Figma is like technical people. But then again, I don't know. Like I look at Lovable's landing page, right? And it says Superbase.
Mhm.
Superbase is a fucking CTA. And I'm like, do normies know what Superbase is? I don't
Probably
think
not,
so.
but maybe that's like a misstep that they took. You know what I mean? But I do think it is like it's closer to what was the Canva? It's closer to Canva than it is to whatever. It's like
You
if
think
V0 is
so?
Figma, this is Canva. you could
Yeah,
say.
yeah. It pulled up the numbers. Like Figma's public, like around 27 billion market cap. Canva's still private, around between 42 and 65 billion. Just implies stock
Yeah.
sales and investor revaluation. So that it's kind of close to being double.
Yeah.
It's wild.
What I would love to see is someone who's not technical build something with Lovable. I would want to see that.
Actually, I don't know if you never met him, right? Jazz, did you meet him, Konstantin? I don't think so.
Maybe in a space, but I don't remember.
He's like an old non-tech co-founder.
Mhm.
I met him actually on YC co-founder 3 years ago, and we met in person. He's like a friend of mine. He was vibe coding hard start of this year. Like he built a bunch of shit using all the things. So we can get him on for sure if you want to talk to him.
Yeah, but
it's
I
like
meant I would
super
just want
interesting.
to see it. Like set someone see.
Oh,
like,
you want to
have
see
him
it
build
live?
laptop. Yeah. Just set up the account and then just watch someone who never wrote a line of code build something with Lovable. I would.
It's wild. Like also their code quality, this garbage outputs after some time, right? Initially it's fine, but man, like I remember I tried to fix some of his stuff, right? Because he wanted to launch it to app stores, and I didn't even understand what was going on. And this was a pretty standard like Next.js, Supabase, Expo. I should have been comfortable, right? But man, the amount of garbage that lived in Supabase, like everything lived in Supabase and nothing was in code, right? Like it just, because he used the CLI to just vomit shit into Supabase, right? So it's wild. Like,
pull up the one I sent you. I would trade millions on there.
Chat?
Yeah. No, yeah, I can send it here as well. There's the chat, right?
Oh, you send it in.
I feel like most of these vibe coding tools though, they do get, first of all, with Supabase, they just have everything on, they use it like it's Firebase. So like they don't do the database queries on the back end. So that's just like, I don't know, this is like not intuitive. And also, like, yeah, when the project gets even slightly bigger, even for the landing page, it was okay. I'm pulling it up right now, but for any real project, I don't know. But then again, I've never really used Cursor properly, so maybe I'm just like underestimating them all. But like, I just use them for like single files. Like, I can't imagine using AI for like a real project with like more than 4 files.
I mean, this is a different discussion, right? But
yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a different discussion. Maybe let's move it to another call.
Yeah.
Because I think we have a pretty interesting setup with you not using it at all, basically, or just using like single file AI dev. Me using it, I don't think I use it enough, to be honest. And then we have probably Konstantin who uses it the most. I don't know if this is still true.
Yeah,
but
I use it a ton. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is wild. Like the
You're
projects
sharing, right?
people build.
Are you sharing?
I'm not sharing. Oh,
It's
I
so
stopped sharing. Share. You guys can also share, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Let me. Okay, this trade crypto, right? I just don't.
Wouldn't you give your Wouldn't you put probably? I would put in my keys there. I would put my wallet there. I'd connect.
That's
a vibe coded trading app. What could go
wrong?
You
already know the fucking bucket is open, right? It's public.
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Just a little KYC. Just send in your like private information.
Send your fucking passport. Upload your passport and then
verify with your
wallet.
with your home address. Maybe some billing receipts from your phone provider.
Yeah.
Just add all of your information there, and then.
I wonder if it actually works. Probably not, right? It's like a template.
Number one honeypot.
It's a fucking template.
Yeah. That's why I send it. It's in the template section at the bottom.
It's wild.
You can remix it though.
Because people, normies, right? You would think they have security concerns, but why would they, right? They don't get it.
They're even portfolio managers are using it. Dude, Lisa Thompson is on there.
It's wild.
It's crazy.
Okay, so let's go back to Lovable actually. So Lovable, right? Agencies. Let me pull this up. Where is it? Lovable Partners. Yeah, let's check this out. I think we talked about this one, right?
Mhm.
Cream Digital. But I think last time we talked about it, we didn't even talk about the hourly rates they have on here. Because this is absolutely wild in my mind. Like these guys charging 200 an hour for a fucking landing page.
That's respectable.
I mean, how many
Respectable growth.
hours do they like rush it out? And it's like, you know what I mean? Or do they take as many
I mean, they start
hours
from
as
10K, right?
yeah.
So, per month, by the way. So
I have to charge more.
Like it would only be like acceptable if like they, you know, they're not like if they're doing it in like a day. I think a lot of normies would actually look at that and be like, "That's fine." You know what I mean? Like when I saw that, I thought I didn't think that was like terrible.
You think
Ooh,
that's
okay.
great?
Okay, that's yeah.
Maybe. I mean, most normies. Yeah, I don't know actually.
I think most normies would be totally fine with that, 100%.
You know what this is, by the way? This is just this, right? At home.
Kinda. It's crazy how like every site does look the same. Like in SF, like all these SF startups. I say
Because
these.
like
This is
because
fucking
probably
UK,
because
though,
all
right?
of the like 10 copy the page one by one startups that raised.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually think Vassal, back when they launched their site,
Yeah.
I still think this is a great page compared to
Yeah.
what they had.
Yep.
Also, did you see the
Everybody
new?
just copied them.
We're kind of derailing, but did you see the new cursor site?
Yeah, and you mean the
No, I
Faceit
have
side?
not actually. I've heard people talk about it, but I have not. Oh, is it the? Wait, have I? Okay,
It's
I have not
so
seen it.
much fucking better than it has a little bit of this like OpenAI soullessness, I feel like, but not as bad. But it's so much better
Yeah.
than what they had. I don't know if you remember what they had, but it was like fucking gradient garbage.
I'm still willing to die on the hill that it is just simply the Faceit logo. It's literally the Faceit logo.
The logo is garbage. Yeah,
It's
the logo is
Faceit.
trash.
Like
Ooh, it's
open the Faceit
animated.
page. It's cool, but it's Faceit. It's just rotated.
No,
you just
no.
mirror it horizontally and then you move it a tiny bit.
No. Like this is the
Have
cursor
you
is
played
completely
Counter-Strike
different.
like in game the logo, like the full logo, not the one? Yeah, this one. Yep.
The cursor is different, but the fuck is going on here? Is this supposed? Is this like an artifact or?
I think that's how it is.
That's weird. Nah, but I don't think it's too different, to be honest. I mean, you mean this, right?
Mm-hmm. You just
Yeah,
mirror it
okay.
and then you
Okay, now I see it. I see it actually. Yeah.
Which is kind of nice to have Counter-Strike players on their team, which is always good. Like professional gamers are cracked, so that's bullish for me, bullish on my end.
Yeah, let's talk about this. Like all these guys, right? So they are. Because actually what I tried to do is I tried to look up if there was already lovable agencies in Austria, just to have like a comparison. I didn't find anything. I didn't do it for Germany. I don't think it exists yet, which
It's good.
Jesus, what is this?
I think that's just courses or something.
And this is like SEO page, right? Learn how to vibe code. That's wild. Okay, but do you think it will ever catch on?
I think
in
at
the
first
EU?
it's respectable that they like are charging these rates, and I think
Yeah, this was a
it's nice for them that it works. I think it's cool. If you can make that work. I'm not sure how, like in general here people are quite, let's say, they're unsure about AI and using it. Me personally, but that could be a skill issue, I wouldn't know how to pitch a vibe coded page for 10K to a business owner of a company that exists for like 150 years or something.
I think how it works is, and that's how I would do it if I was interested in this, but I think how it needs to work is they need to pitch it as in, we are faster, right, than the others. We're using cutting edge tech, and I don't see them pitching. I don't even know how it, I don't know if they actually get people. I would assume no, right? Like this landing page, it's just fluff. Like most landing pages for agencies, it's just fluff, right? So let's say they are doing outbound sales, normal sales. I don't think they are talking about vibe coding in their sales calls. Because if they did, it's as you said, right? Why would anyone buy a substandard product that's not built by humans?
But isn't there this one guy, I know him from I've seen him on YouTube, and you never know what your obviously they can just fake MRR and all of that, but he was at least claiming, I think, to have made over $1 million with that already. I think it is even the Cream Digital thing.
What?
I think it's possible. I think it's solely possible, especially with socials. Because to make $1 million, you need that's like 110K projects, right?
That's a lot of
or 10 100K project or 1 million project. Yeah, quick maths.
To reach $1 million with an agency in EU, I don't know how it works in US, to be honest. Because my rates in US are like double. But then again, you have to think about the fact that if you're dealing in fucking dollars, the dollar is like, yeah. So
that's like it's like 600K, right, or whatever, something like that.
But in my mind, you need to, and I know big agencies, right? You like to make these kinds of amounts, you have to scale up. You have to have employees, right? If you don't have them, it's going to be rough. And if you have 110K projects, you need to do maintenance for those, right? So you need to have.
Maybe they don't do that.
Yeah,
maybe they don't, but it's not easy to not to, right?
I think the only I wasn't thinking solo. I wasn't thinking that you would do it solo, of course.
But I mean, if you scale up, it's totally doable, right?
Yeah.
If you scale up, I think
the only single person to do $1 million, I think, is the Design Joy guy, right? Where he would just he had a whole system.
I mean, we can talk about this guy, but I don't know if we should.
Oh, you don't like? Oh, yeah, okay.
I think it's a scam. You can't do this amount of. It's either a scam in terms of revenue, or it's, which I don't think so because he has big clients. I think he's just outsourcing like everybody else, right? Because I'm doing basically the same thing. You know how I work, right? My clients, and I do most of the work. It's not a lie, but obviously I need to outsource some of the stuff, right? So, for example, for the app, I used your services, right, to have the backend built, because obviously I could have done the backend myself, but it's just I need to spend my time wisely, right? And I think it's the same for this guy, right? He probably does the sign off on each and maybe goes to the meetings, but then he has 10 designers who just do the work, right? That's how I assume it works. I mean, he publicly says that it's not like that, right? That's his entire sales pitch, because he's basically me but more successful, right? He's doing the same sales pitch where it's I'm the guy, I do it, right? But if it's not even working for me, right? And I'm nowhere near his amount.
I feel like he is probably way more okay with doing soulless work than maybe you are.
But his work doesn't look soulless. I don't think he's a bad I mean some of it does, right?
Yeah, but I don't think do you see design and the design process, do you see yourself as a machine or a human being? You know what I mean? I think he sees himself as a fucking machine who just moves tickets. I move tickets across the Jira board. That is what
I don't think designers work like that in general. Designers don't work like devs, right?
Yeah. I think
you need to give them a lot more space. in general. And then with this guy, I think it's like totally admirable. I'm not hating on him at all, but I think it smells. Like the entire thing is just smelly to me. Because you can do everything solo, right?
Yeah.
And have such a decent, because if you look at someone like Levels, right?
Yeah.
He obviously, I think it's pretty legit that he does all the things solo, right? And it looks like they are being built by one guy, right? Like it's you guys get what
like
I mean,
it shows. Right? It shows. Yeah.
It shows, but this also, it's like authentic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why people like him.
Yeah, it's like dirty fingernails. Like
it's
sort
just a guy, right?
Yeah,
but
it's real. Yeah.
This guy's brand, like this Design Joy guy's brand, it doesn't look like it's just a guy to me, at least. Maybe I'm wrong, and he's just like he's like a freak of nature, right? And he just does it. Maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't see it. Because also he's selling subs, right? He's not even like selling projects. He's selling subscriptions.
Yeah. His subs, like I think it was like $5,000 a month, if I'm not mistaken. So like, in order to get, was it 1 million ARR or did he claim just 1 million lifetime?
I don't know actually.
Because if it's 1 million ARR, then we can just do the math, right? Design Joy. Oh, yeah, you're looking them up.
Why is X not?
Just you have to go x.com. Yeah, ARR should just list X. It should default to X.
I mean, I'm actually surprised that it's not bringing up X. I don't even know. Like, I've not seen any MRR, like ARR posts by him, but
it was even in his bio.
1.7. Yeah. The fuck is this?
Starterstory.com.
Jesus. I'm gonna leave.
But
yeah, maybe let's talk about this guy another time, because I have some stuff to say, but I would just need to do some research.
I also have no fucking clue, because I don't know what, like, how much design does, or like costs in general, or like how long do you take, and how much you can automate. The only thing I've seen from him recently is that he is doing more and more with AI, and I think that's something where you can scale. If you just put down a like workflow that automates a lot of stuff for you, I'm not sure.
You know how I think it works with him? I think he has Webflow, for example, right? Mm-hmm. If Webflow is his client, he gives it his all, right? He has like himself, maybe 5 designers, or maybe it's literally just him and he's a great designer and he just does it for like a few months. And then all the people who come onto his retainer plan because they see Webflow, right? All the nobodies who aren't on this website. Those people, fucking Israel.com branding is brutal. Those people, I think they get a subbar service. That's how it works. That's also how it works for me. That's how it works, right? You prioritize the big ones, the ones you connect with, your friends, and then you deprioritize other people, right? Maybe the clients who didn't pay on time, maybe the clients who pay less, right? The assholes, you deprioritize those. And I think that's how it works, right? And he gets all of these, basically the portfolio projects, and then the other projects are either done by outsourced designers, and he just signs off. Because this doesn't work, right? Like average 48-hour delivery. Plus the development. Like how? 1 million, how? Does he not sleep?
Yeah, Webflow, I think the Webflow thing must be new, because before
how much can you template in like in design? Like if I'm just thinking, like if you just okay, so once I played for a designer, right? It was stupid. We got fucked by it basically, but he was creating a brand thing with like 3 colors and some like logo setting and all of that. I'm pretty confident I could automate that in like 2 or 3 days. Just like quick input, like just text input, what the company is doing, which colors they kind of like, put in the mood board, get some like, just average the images, get some like 3 hex codes out of it, and like just put it through a pipeline and create some assets. And that's like, I pay 1K for that, for example. I'm pretty confident you could automate that. If you just do that a lot and just like basically sell a package where you just get some weird thing. And like the clients, if you're that large and you're like doing it internationally, the clients don't share, they don't know each other.
I don't know.
Yeah, because if he has 20 clients, that's $1 million ARR. If he has 20, and like I've seen him tweet where like he said like some of these design tickets they take like half an hour. Plus, like I imagine if you've been designing every day for like a decade, because he's in his 30s, if you've been designing every day for a decade, you can't
Bro, I
even
think
before AI. I feel like you can just sort of sit down and just be like, okay, I need a CTA,
I think
like
you
high.
guys are. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, but I think you're way, way out of your comfort zone in this.
Oh,
Because
okay.
the thing is, like, for one, right, 5K a month isn't nothing, right? That's number one. So people, if you give them justice, right, and let's say this is 48 hours of work, and the client gets like 10 of those. Do you think the client will be happy? No, they want to have this, right, in 48 hours. And then
Yeah.
you look at this, right, and you might see, okay, like I don't think this looks great. But design goes through iterations, right? You don't just give them something and they're like, okay,
Yeah.
cool, that's nice. That doesn't work like that. So, and also what you just said about he just needs 20
But some
20
leads as well.
clients.
Yeah, 20.
But 20, let's imagine these, because they want to get value for this, right?
Yeah.
20 clients. Every 48 hours, you get 20 tasks. Even if they take just half an hour. How does this work? You need to communicate also, right?
But it's
this
not always
doesn't work. It's not feasible, right?
Maybe it's like what, but then again, I don't have a clue. But maybe it's just like up to 2 users. Like what's that unlimited stock photo? So maybe it's just like you get a client, let's say, and you do a really great initial project, and then you just do the monthly retainer. And then they sometimes, some months they don't want anything from you.
Yeah.
They just chill because it's a large company.
But how would you do that?
They don't give a shit about 5K. It doesn't really show up on their balance sheet. And then 3 months later, maybe they want a flyer for an event. You just do that quickly, and then they pay 3 months more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but how would you do that, right? Like, would you do it yourself?
The what?
I wouldn't do it myself because like, why would you do it yourself?
I'm not saying this is totally feasible. I think, again, if he puts in like 99% of his like soul and like time spent working and his work, right? If he puts that into Webflow and then farms the Webflow logo for like 2 years by getting all of these low value clients, putting them on a retainer, and then they just maybe forget about it, right? This could work, right? But I still don't see how he is soloing this. I don't see it. That it makes no sense, right? Because as you said, like, if the task is to have this, like, why not get some Indian guy to just do it? Why he could have, like, it makes no sense, and nobody would ever know, right? Nobody would ever know. He signs off, he does the communications, so why not do it, right? It could even be a fucking German guy, or it doesn't have to be an Indian guy. Like, even get a German design kid from university, right? He's going to pay him $100 and he designs you the fucking hero, right?
I'm like Design Joy's #1 defender right now, but like from what I remember him saying, he talked about like being like introverted and he just doesn't want to deal with like managing people and all that. And so that's why
get a guy who manages your people, right?
Okay. I mean, true, but like his whole thing was like, I pay, I spend this much for software, and that's just my, all my entire output is just taxes and software, and everything else is just.
I think SMR is part of big Design Joy.
So true.
SMR is just like fucking. He's always the believer in like hustle culture. I don't believe in it. Like,
I am. Yeah.
If you scale your business to 1.7 million, right? At this point,
7 is wild. 7.
To be honest, like, I have no clue about design and everything. For me, just like.
Bro, if it was this easy, wouldn't you be a designer?
No, but hustle culture wise, I want to believe that it's true. But then again, I would say, for me, just personally, why would you do it? Like, if you could
it
do
makes no
1.7
sense.
million alone, why don't you do 3 or 4 with people? Like,
No,
what's the point?
I think there's a point where you don't want to scale up, right? I'm at this point kind of myself, but this type of work, if we are talking retainers, and if you check out the page, right, he doesn't have like huge new clients all the time. It's like a retainer model, right? It's so I don't see how, for example, social media posts, right? Do you want to do it yourself, or do you want to just get someone who takes the existing work you already put in for the initial branding, right? I can see him doing the initial branding. It's his ideas. It's exciting. But then once you complete, and I know this for a fact, right? Once you complete the project, you don't want to see it again. Like you have all of these assets created. Just get someone. The guy throws it together, right? Like, let's talk Israel.com branding, right? He created the initial thing. He created a bunch of assets. It was exciting. Now he has them on retainer, right? And and he just pays someone to just whip up like a fucking Instagram post, right?
I'm trying so hard not to make jokes, but yeah, it's a bit But yeah,
No, but you get the idea. I think this is
logically it makes sense. Yeah, logically it makes sense.
What's the but?
But he just he's.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know the guy.
Yeah,
Is there like interviews with him?
Would be.
He's not public, right? He's like anonymous.
Maybe we can get him.
Get
him on here.
I don't think after this he'll come on, bro.
Everything's possible.
I mean, he's been.
I really like. I think his general like branding. I think it's actually also. I mean, I don't think his work is bad. It's not something I would probably ship, but I think it's
sort of reliable and clean, and
it's not like cookie cutter. That's also because you mentioned Konstantin. You said that you could just do this.
Yeah, but then again, I wouldn't show the ones I automated in my portfolio. Obviously, I would
That's
show
true.
the
That's
cool
what
ones
I
in the
was
portfolio.
getting at, right? You would show Israel.com, but you wouldn't show like you wouldn't show all the knockoff Israel.coms, right?
Yeah.
Like
all the other countries said
Germany.com, you wouldn't show it. Yeah.
Okay,
man, we didn't talk about the fucking imaginary space. I think maybe it's true what you said, Konstantin, last time, where it would just be us shitting on them. But so what's your guys' verdict on those? Do you think they actually pull off these numbers by just vibe coding? Lovable? Garbage?
I think, like, first, I hope they do. For them, would be nice for them, as long as their customers are satisfied. I think if you go through the X account of Lovable, it actually makes more sense because they're reposting people that are using Lovable and they're really having fun. So maybe that's something.
But it's like ordinary people, right? It's not agency.
No, exactly. I think, like, let's put it that way. I've seen people selling weirder shit making money. So why not?
Yeah, I absolutely, dude. I'm like a total believer. Like, especially with social. Like, listen, I'm sure a lot of them are dishonest. I completely, of course, but the premise that you could make, because
it's basically all about
1
volume,
million,
right?
especially as a
if you
team,
get a ton of inflow.
Yeah,
why not?
Exactly. I think it's especially as a team. I think you can totally do 1 million if you, because the only thing they need to figure out is just distribution, right?
Yeah.
Capital distribution, but distribution, getting people in or whatever. Because after that, it's just like doing the actual task is like, it's benign. So I'm like 100%.
He's already on investigating here. He's inspecting left and right.
Yeah, except
it does look vibe coded, maybe. I don't know. I think as well, you're too optimistic. I think I'm too pessimistic on this entire thing. Maybe Constantine can be the voice of reason, but
Yeah.
I can see the top two, right? Maybe they make it work, but
Actually gonna watch the video from the guy later or someday because it's kind of interesting, I think.
I mean, we can pick up next week where we left off, I guess, because I kind of want to see if there's any EU ones. I checked briefly because the problem for me to talk about this, right? I don't know enough about the US market. I don't know how it works. Because in EU right now, I don't see this ever. And all of these, okay, this is actually interesting. They are apparently, these pages are brutal. We get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think even Indonesia, right? Indonesia makes a lot. Like, I can see Indonesia way more than Toronto, right? Because this is basically just an outsourcing agency. So I can see that. I just don't see Lovable Agencies popping up in Europe. Like Webflow agencies, for example, were popping up. I don't know if you guys saw this development. Maybe you didn't. Do you guys know about like Webflow agencies?
No.
That's maybe an interesting, like, we can talk about it next time. That's maybe an interesting parallel. Because like a few years ago, there was like Webflow agencies and no-code agencies were all over the place, right? So I think that's like maybe the evolution of this. But yeah. Did we lose SMR, by the way?
No, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you guys.
Yeah, I can hear you. Do you guys have tweets lined up for the last segment?
I have a tweet, yeah.
Let's go, I have one too.
Wait, but mine is like...
You want to pull yours up?
I'll send it to you so we don't have to...
I'll get a second tweet as well, but this one is just...
Let's not make fun of Tanner again. I can't take it. Imagine him watching this again.
No, I'm not. We're not making fun.
Wait,
we're talking
is
about...
that why it's called TanStack?
Yeah,
TanStack
obviously.
DB and maybe...
Oh, nice.
Share screen.
I thought about that. Wait.
Okay, we're back. So, what's the aim here? Don't try to micromanage your expenses. Just make more. Oh yeah, I've seen this a bunch of times.
Yeah, it's an old one, but I think it's just interesting, especially like economically. First, I think the retweeted tweet is an absolute banger, but then again, I think especially like in Europe, I think it's a little bit different in the States where there are jobs where you can actually make like if you're an ML engineer at OpenAI, obviously you make a lot of money, right? But I think in Germany or in Europe, there are rarely jobs where you can make a lot of money. So there you can only have incremental steps. And obviously, sure, if you save till you're 70, maybe then you have some money left over if you always invested. But then again, who wants to have fun if he's 70? Like you're really limited then. So I think why I like this meme, and it's old as fuck, but still, if you really want to change something in your living standard, you kind of have to do something different, and like saving $200 a month won't change your life in any way. It will be literally the same. So I really think like, sure, you shouldn't like go out and gamble away all your life savings one night. So you kind of have to be non-retarded here, but making more money is literally the only way.
Yeah, more so now than ever, right?
Yeah.
Because, and I have this, it's somehow a fringe opinion in EU. I don't think it should be, but I'm pretty sure that, I don't know if you agree, but I don't think we'll ever see a pension. Like people our age,
yeah.
I don't think we'll see pension payouts, right? It won't happen. So making more money, and that's, so the $200, right? It's not to get rich. I think saving the $200 each month, more would be better, right? But
yeah.
I think those can maybe secure you your pension. That's not how people think about it, though, right? People are like, okay, I'm saving $200. I'm gonna, I'm gonna get rich off this. This also is not going to happen, right? So I think making more money is actually, and you need to try to do that, right? And as you said, and I think even with like a cushiony US job, even then, right? Like there aren't many 800K jobs anymore.
Yeah.
And like the 250 jobs, the 180K jobs, they aren't, I don't think, like at this point you still need to count every dollar you spend, right? It's not like, don't think about it, Rich, right? It's just,
sure. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think it's a solution. Obviously, if you get stock options in like a huge company, then it's different. But I think these jobs get more rare as we speak.
Also, I think just like this living frugal is a lot of the times it's kind of weird, because then, like, for example, tools, right? So would you like, especially if we think like just simple AI tokens, Claude Code, if you would be like, oh, I have to be super, super frugal, I'm not spending like the €200 plan. And I think that's a super Euro thing to do, because it's so expensive. But then again, if you just like switch the frame and be like, okay, I'm spending 200 euros per month. Can this make me more money, or can I make more money with this? I think it's something completely different. And like, if you don't have a lot of money, then just, if you save a lot, you still don't have a lot of money, right? So it doesn't really change anything.
No, I think it's just people being insecure, right?
Yeah.
And scared. But then
I
again,
do
we
agree.
live
Like,
in EU, right? So what is the worst that can happen? I think the only reason why you should be frugal is, and we talked about this SMR, I don't know if you remember. I would be worried if I had kids and no cash, no financial anything, right? No savings, no nothing. But then I would try to get a cushiony job and get like savings for my kids in, right? But if you're just a guy, there's no reason not to make more money, right? There's no reason not to. I think. Right.
Yeah.
If you're more than a guy, I think there's a reason to be
make more
frugal,
money, yeah.
to a certain
'Cause,
degree,
like-
right? You still should try to make more money, but maybe try to get the other things sorted first. I think, right?
I always find it so funny that people are way more risk averse in Europe, but like there's way less downside. So if you majorly fuck up in the US, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah,
if you
you're
majorly
dead.
if you majorly fuck up in Europe, you're just broke for a few years. Like,
yeah. And people, I think, in EU, it's not just social safety net, right? It's also like social safety, right? Because technically, like, my parents aren't rich, but they also don't have, like, most people don't have insane amounts of debt.
Yeah.
Meaning they can probably support you, even like if you fuck up major, they can probably support you for a few years. And it's not great. It's not something you should fall back to. But if you need to, right, you can. And I think that's true for most people. I wouldn't probably. I would just get a job. But yeah, I agree with this. Like, it's, I don't know if it's true for other countries too. I think
spicy ASMR take, maybe. He does
Yeah.
something super spicy here.
Would you say it's true for non-EU?
With me, I think I don't think it's spicy. I think I agree with Constantine here, where like I mean, or no, both of you, I guess. Like, you have to sort of be generative, and like, because like a lot of people here in the capital, they are like, they want to save their way or whatever. Like, they're more, their mind is lenient towards like saving instead of spending to make. So like, yeah, there is. I don't think there is a. I wish I did. I wish I had like a hot take, but yeah, I think it's just like, yeah, you should just buy stuff to make more stuff, and just be
So what's your take on buying stuff
a
that's
consumer
not,
and be a producer.
that doesn't
be a
serve a
good member of
purpose
the economy.
to make more money? Because I'm way more frugal when it comes to that. Like, I don't really go on vacation
doesn't have
too
a
much,
purpose to
even
make-
though I realize I should probably. But for example, when my MacBook Air kind of died, I went out the same day, right? And I got like a maxed out MacBook Pro because I don't care. Like, it needs to happen, right? I just need to spend that, right? And the same goes for AI. I don't fucking care.
That's
like,
for
if
work. Yeah,
some new model drops, I don't think
Yeah.
twice, right? I just get the new subscription. Like, you just get it. But then for like,
yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
where this is kind of also true is like I spend a lot of cash on just living
for
like,
other things. Yeah,
good food and my apartment, right?
Tons of speck.
This also, yeah. But do you
Yeah.
guys also do like spend a lot of cash on lifestyle purchases? Because I don't really.
Not really, especially not currently, because like freshly founded, currently still living on some runway. So right now I'm more frugal than usually. Before that, I was spending more without thinking. So just if you just wanted something, you just bought it, right? I didn't really think about it. There is some stuff where I'm like, I buy really, like, I don't buy a lot, so I don't shop a lot. But when I buy something, usually it's quite expensive.
Yeah.
So what I always try to do, if I need something new, I always try to rather like hold it back for some time and then buy something really, really nice, and then don't have that many things, but like more high quality things. So
I think that's a pretty guy thing to do also, right? I think that's like most guys.
Yeah.
But I think also it's
to sort
more
of like
easy.
spend like a
'Cause
ton
I
and
talked
then
about
use
this with
that
my
for a while.
girlfriend.
I think that's like a guy.
There's so much garbage quality, cheap stuff for women, right? But then for guys, I don't feel like it works the same way. Where, for example, tech, right, or any other like, I don't know, like guy hobbies. It's mostly higher quality stuff. It's more expensive, right? But you kind of cash in once and then it's bought, and you don't.
Yeah.
You also don't feel this need to always consume. At least this is what it feels like to me. Obviously, there is hobbies, right? Like if your hobby is drinking or something, then it's different. But I think most normal guy hobbies is way more focused on like one big spend, right, and not like bunch of death by 1,000 cuts.
It's less
like,
consumption heavy. I also like the peace of mind of like not having to think about purchasing a new thing for a good while. You know what I mean? Like I think that's like one of the big sells of like if I had to buy like an Apple product, I would always probably buy like the latest thing.
Have you ever bought a non-maxed out or non-pro
as long as
Apple
possible?
product?
I do this all the time.
Okay.
Non-maxed out, yeah, but non-pro, no. I got my iPhone's pretty old. I got the 11 Pro Max.
No, I do this. Like, for example, my phone. I'm not on my phone much, right? So
but it was not the M4 Max.
Before I'm on a 15 Pro now, but not Max. So I don't get the Max phones. I don't like them because they're too big.
I would exclude those. They're just too big. I just get the usual.
If they were smaller, I would probably get them.
Yeah.
But yeah. So. But
it's like the pros, right?
Yeah, I bought a MacBook Air, right? Because but I also, it's kind of the same decision because I was in the army, right? So I needed to fucking travel from Innsbruck to Vienna every single week, which was just ass, right? I didn't want to carry out this fucking garbage ass, big ass laptop with me. But yeah, probably actually now that I think about it, there's not much else, right? When it comes to like headphones, it's like maxed the most expensive ones I could pick up.
Yeah, it's not much. It's like a couple. Yeah, like AirPods. I bought these, dude. I bought these super recently. Like I already had AirPod Pro 2s.
Were you rocking the 3 now?
And then they got old because I had them for quite a while, and then I got new. No, I got 2s like a month before 3 was announced.
I mean, it's fine.
So right? I'm gonna have to rock these for a little bit.
I'm always on the cheap ones. Like,
but I
always order those. Yeah, those ones for the laptop and for the phone. I always try to order multiples.
AirPods?
But like at many shops, they only let you order one. So like every like quarter, I go to 3 or 4 different shops and order them there because like they're like they don't last that long, right? Yeah. But I just really like them.
But now you're just debunking yourself, right? Because that's what I wanted to say. Yeah. Like for the main things I need to work with, I always get the maxed out thing.
Yeah.
But then, for example, this mic, right? It's fucking cheap as fuck. Like I just got the cheap one, this mic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because what I
The
do
what?
is when I'm not sure
Yeah,
about
yeah.
something, I grab the cheap one first. So I'm always making these calculations, and I think that's true for most people, right? When I'm not sure about something, I really dislike people who cash out on stuff to get them locked into a hobby, for example, right?
It's kind of me, but I always sell it later on.
Yeah, I see them,
Yeah.
like I see why it happens, right? I can totally see it, but I also, for example, with my new like hunting hobby, right? I got like cheap gear because I don't know if I'm going to be doing it for long, right?
Okay, that's interesting. I never did that. Only for the rifle. But then again, what's cheap, right? After a certain
it's still fucking expensive, but I don't go for like because I know what the max out
not
thing.
full blazer gear, like max out blazer gear.
Right. Also, for example,
Swarovski glasses and everything.
I don't know if you're familiar with like stuff like Carinthia,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Do you know the
I
brand?
have all my hunting stuff is current, yeah.
Yeah, So, for example, I did like a bunch of like not camping. It's like mountainside bivouac, right?
Yeah.
It's like camping on a mountain, and I was right about this, right? I got like I spent like $500 on gear, which is in comparison cheap as fuck, right? Because if I got gear from Carinthia, I would be looking at like maybe a
bit more, yeah.
a fucking jacket, right, for $500.
Yeah.
So, but I was right about this, right? I went like for 3 times, and then I just dropped
But like
the hobby,
you always
right?
have the resell. What I always found is, or like why I kind of do it sometimes, is that you can always sell the good stuff for close to the same price.
That's true.
Because like, for example, you buy a Corinthia jacket now and you sell it in 2 years, it's still gonna be like 480 or something. It's not gonna be 520 or whatever, but you like $40, whatever, you use it 2 years. So I think just like if you buy cheap stuff, after a while it's worth nothing. If you buy expensive stuff, after a while it's still worth something. So
But do you always sell? Because I think selling is like man, I don't know, like with selling, there's so many weird people, I don't want to meet them. Like whenever I sell something, do you sell
like a pain in
online,
the
bro? Or
ass.
do you sell like...
Yeah, I've sold a lot of stuff on eBay.
And you send it? Or
Yeah. No, I never let those people like close.
Yeah, that's what I mean, right? Because I am always like, man, this guy knows my address, right?
Yeah.
Even like when it's expensive stuff, it's even more weird.
Yeah.
Because I don't really want you to like know my I always have these like horror stories, right? Where it's like a thief and he just marks my place, you know. It's like
you get marked.
500 euro Carinthia jacket. Mark it up, right? This guy. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to Tanner. I think I'm gonna skip mine because it was kind of in the same vein. Ooh,
Yeah, this is like a giant topic. But
so now we're back to front end, right?
Yeah.
Zero.js sounds good.
I didn't understand this, by the way. What does he mean?
Well,
what does he mean?
Zero.js is in like, I think I think it means like it can run on like you can pre-render it, or you can run it on any like Vinci or Cloudflare or whatever. It's like,
but can't like JS also run?
It can run anywhere. I think that's what he's trying to say.
I mean, you have to have a node installed, right?
No, like yeah. For example, with like for Next is obviously the biggest culprit, but with Next, you had like stuff that could only run on functions, and you even had stuff that could only run on Edge that could not run on normal Node. And with other ones like Remix or whatever, they only recently had pre-rendering. So like it was only.
So you think this is a server-side? Because that's how I read it, right? I thought this is about SSR basically, right? You have like, or SSG, I guess, even SSG, where you have like, so it generates it's like a get handler, right? For paid, but it's obviously not the entire tensor get, because what does he mean with?
Like I think what he means is, and dude, we're probably getting filled. Like I'm pretty sure somebody watching this is screaming at their monitor about what it means. But I think what he means is you can run it as a pre-render on your laptop or on your CI. right? Technically, if you do that, your CI is like the server, or your laptop is the server.
What is
That's
Yeah,
generating
but
the
then
HTML that
it's still like
the
the get
browser
handler, right?
consumes. That's my understanding. But
But
are those RSCs? Oh, wait a minute. Wait, scroll up. Any
I
server
think it's
handler
literally just about
can
serving
render.
HTML,
Oh,
right?
I think what he
Is
means,
this?
it's not even get. So there's server functions. Um, so have you seen a server? I think server handler, yeah, because he would have said server function if you meant server
I think
function.
that's what
So I think
it
yeah,
needs to be.
you
That
can
right? It
now
needs to be that
return
the get
HTML.
handlers they have
HTML.
Are literal get handlers on
Yeah.
the server, right? They aren't some. I don't know what Next does, for example. I think in Next it's the same, right? Since a broader where get, but maybe not actually, maybe not.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, it does work
you
like that,
can't. That
right?
would
If
be
it's in
that
an
would be
API
insane
folder,
though.
I guess.
If you could do
Is
like
it
a
not like
get
that?
and return JSX.
They do some magic,
I
probably, right?
don't
Because
think
they
that would
still have
work, but I have to
caching, and
guess.
so I guess
Because I
what he
think
means, how
net
I read this, it's
yeah,
weird because it's
like
not really explained.
yeah.
But how I read it is, okay, our get handlers are actual get handlers. You send a
I
get request and you get
think okay. I
something
think
back.
I
It's not
disconnected.
like magic
Okay.
JS happening.
No. All right. Yeah, I think because he talked about this way back on a podcast. I think it was in Syntax FM, I believe. Um, but he talked about how he would implement React server components, and it would basically be, from what I understand, he would return it from either server functions or server handlers. And so this seems to be a preview of RDCs now that seems to be more
This is
likely.
apparently the
Like this
blog post about
matters.
released candidates.
Do they have server first ergonomics?
The roasted. I
It's
guess
pretty
it's this, right?
feels okay.
Like the SSR DX with
Built-in
no
yeah, yeah,
locking.
yeah.
Like
Okay,
that's
built-in
how I understand it, right? Because that's one of the main pain points about Next, right? Where you can't really. I mean, you can self-host it with like what's it called?
Yeah.
The
SST.
Open Next or what?
Ah, yeah,
I don't know.
Next, yeah, but SST also uses Open Next,
SST.
right?
Yeah, it's about the same guys, right? I think.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know about this. Like, to be honest, this. I'm still not sure about 10.6R, to be honest, in general. Like, how do you like it so far? Because we are shipping it in production right now, Konstantin, for your understanding.
Like, I used 10-stack router years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it that old? I also used 10-stack start once for a like MVP, as we talked about it earlier. Yeah, okay. But it was still in beta, so I'm not sure. I'm pretty
we
sure
are on the beta
changed.
as well, so
it was quite. Isn't it out like quite long?
It's been out for like 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Or like 1.5 years.
I think it's more like longer than a year ago where I use it.
I don't know. Like, I've seen all these because I follow Dana and I follow his guy, right? Manuel. I think he's Austrian even. I don't know. Do you follow this guy? The SMR. Do you follow this Manuel?
I just like the
which
island.
one? I
This
have
guy.
to see him to remember.
He's hardcore. Like I think he is the actual Tanner now. Like he's the
I
guy. He
didn't.
ships
I do
all
not.
the. If you check out the
I
repo,
should probably
he's
follow him, but I do not.
basically the guy who does it. But the thing is, to be completely honest, I don't really understand. I need to see the big picture once it releases. Do you get me?
Carrying,
I don't know.
He seems
maybe
to be,
for you SMR, because you seem to have like a
yeah.
deeper understanding, I think, than me. But I don't really see, when I see stuff like this, right? I don't see the bigger picture of what they're trying to do here, right? Like, I know that middlewares are a pain in other frameworks, so I can kind of feel the need to like optimize. But then again, this is so obscure stuff, right? That I'm like, okay, like give me.
This reminds me of what we have in TRPC, where like you you do like a procedure and you do dot middleware dot middleware. So like here he has a factor. They call it factor. Factory is a bad name probably, but this is basically a procedure, right? You can
Which
do
looks like
my
Go.
auth
To be honest, a little bit
procedure
like
or my
middleware
auth
than
factory
Go.
dot whatever.
But do you like
So
most people I
I
see
think it's the
shipping
variable name.
TenStack right now, right? I don't know. Do you know and I don't know his name right now, but the guy who built the man, I don't know what it is. It's like log something. I don't know if this is the same
Better
guy, but
stack, better teach,
he's
better
constantly
T-stack
on
or
my
whatever.
feed on my For You page.
Oh,
But
okay.
I don't remember. But he's also using the same stack as we do, right? Where it's TenStack for basically for TenStack router mostly, and then. But he's not really using it to its full extent, right? I really don't see TenStack because we tried using it, right?
Okay, quick question. Like, I think it might be even interesting for some of the guys watching. Like, if you would have to like one sentence, why would I use TenStack over anything else?
I think it is reasonable to ship TenStack if you don't care about SSR and you don't want to be SSR opt out, but you want to be SSR opt in. It's like the complete opposite of Next.js, basically. I think this is what they are trying to do also.
Okay, but
right?
when would I use it? Like, just for me,
You would
like,
use
I
it
would.
for any dashboard, right? If you shipped Next before, I think I would move them over to like either it's for people that went with Vite, just bare bones Vite. I think they should.
I
now be
always
using
really
that.
liked like TenStack Query and TenStack Tables. I thought it just was nice
I
to
don't
use.
like tables, to be honest, but I really like Curie.
But when like I start a new web project because I don't know, I hate myself, and what I'm thinking about what would I use here. So when like I don't really like, if you know what I mean, I don't really see the
Basically, yeah, I think it's basically a Vite replacement
So you kind
Because
of
that
Vite,
has an escape hatch
if
to
you're
add
trying to
SSR
to
if
just
if it comes down
add
that you need it.
SSR to Vite, there is solutions to it, right? But it's not great. Like
so you would kind of use it for more dashboards over landing pages, or like more into
yeah.
Okay.
So we on the
Yes,
AI company project, right?
100%. Yeah.
We wanted to go with 10.6 start also for the landing page, SSR it, but there was like too many issues. So we went with Astro, and now the app itself is 10.6 start, but the landing page is Astro. And I personally,
Hey, dude, we migrated from router to start to have the landing page.
yeah, that's what I mean, right? But that's what I was
Start,
getting
and we're
at.
like,
Like,
you know what?
I
Never
don't see the
mind.
bigger picture
After we
of
created.
like stuff like this, right? So now you're saying, okay, this is, and I can see why you would say that. This is like procedures in TRPC, but do you see a world where you don't ship TRPC? I currently don't see it. Because I don't feel like it's. I think TRPC is more elegant than, yeah.
It's too good.
So
it's too good. TRPC is just unbelievable.
And then for the router, right? TenStack router.
But then again,
I'm not the biggest fan because I think when I think about client projects, right, and I think about teams of people, I don't think giving them more tools, like having file-based routing plus config-based routing plus unified route tree plus all of it's nice as a feature for like product teams that are like a company, right? They stick together. But if you go build a project with a bunch of freelancers who all have their own opinions, they work together for one project. I want the framework to be opinionated as fuck, right? I don't want to be like, and that's why I'm really happy with Next, because I know for a fact that layout.tsx that is a layout and page.tsx is a fucking page, right? I don't need to think about some cute way somebody shipped fucking, I don't know, 50 route handlers in one page, which is possible in TenStack, right? So I don't know where this is going, to be honest. I think the best project is something like we're building, right? The big AI dashboard type product where you go with TenStack because TenStack Curie is good, router is good. It's no bullshit fucking loading.tsx Next.js garbage where everything, because you don't need SSR, right? So it's opt-in for SSR. I don't even know what the.
Yeah.
I guess Remix is a good comparison, right? I've never shipped Remix, so I don't know. But
But
Remix to me, looking at it, seems more elegant also than 10-stack start, to be honest. I don't know.
I think Tanstack was because when he was doing the interview or the podcast with Syntax and Feb, he was talking about I think he does consulting for like big React teams, it seems like, or how however the case is, he was in contact with like big React teams, and he would sometimes be hired to basically clean up the code base, and because he talked about the experience of like um cleaning up a code base and how he loves it and all this. He talked about that on the Syntax FM podcast. And so my guess is, if you have seen a number of like enterprise teams or whatever, they probably have like a lot of ways of doing things, and so your framework would need to meet all of them where they're at. So like he needs config and file based, and for file based he needs all these different. He needs a convention that can sort of encompass all these different ways of defining the routes. And so I think that is why he because it's sort of stretched in two directions, because on one side he wants to produce something that's like, everything is type safe, and there's like a reliable way to do everything. Like you can add a middleware on each route or at the parent or whatever. And so there's that, and then there's also like you can do all of that works no matter which way or which config you choose. And so I think that's him trying to
Do
meet
you think it's
enterprise
this
in
is
all
going to be
different
his
shapes and forms
downfall?
that they come
I
in.
don't think so, but I think initially,
But that, yeah.
no. I mean,
It
his
came out of
downfall as
nowhere.
in, no, his downfall as in catering
No.
to everyone, right? Not being opinionated. But that's what it is, right? You have
Yeah.
server functions if you want them.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have the RPC type functions if you want them. You have route handlers if you want them. You can basically,
Yeah.
I think, you could technically have your entire app in a fucking single file,
Yeah.
right? If you wanted to. Like, you could, right? But I think that
if you're
might
not
be his
using the
downfall
code
for
gen thing,
teams
you could
like
have.
me, like the products I'm building, right? I can ship 10-stack probably. There's no way. Because we get one cute dev on the team, he's going to fuck everything up, right? I don't have the time to like discuss code styles, right? Or like I don't have the time for this. So that's what I mean. I think in the initial phases, I don't think 10-stack is going to catch on to as many people as we might believe in our X bubble, right? Because I think it's going to stay niche. But what I think about 10-stack V2, maybe V3, because that's how it worked with React Curie and stuff as well, right? It just incrementally got like way more adoption with each release. So I think that's
I never thought of that.
I think they are
for
going
me, it's
to.
like just V1. Go ahead.
Honestly, to be completely honest, I would have laughed if they would have just locked in on one opinionated thing.
But maybe it's just a like consulting vehicle, right? Because like
No, I don't think so. Will. I think Tenna is like one of the only real. That's a wild accusation. Now you're making him sad again.
Why? I just thought it's genius, to be honest. Like a lot of the, like in the AI engineering space, a lot of people just develop their own like. I'm just thinking of Justin, who's doing like crazy good stuff in AI consulting, and he just created this open source framework in Structure, which then a lot of people use, and then those people that use it, who would you pay more than the creator of the framework to consult you? It's just a genius play.
Yeah, but he has React Curie, right? He has like Tensor Curie, which is already like probably, bro, how many people everybody uses it, right?
I think Tanner is like
space with him,
he is like
SMR
awesome Chungus, like
he was like discussing with people to remove ads from his website. He was like, and then people were shitting on him, and he was like, "Okay,
dude,
I'm going to remove them where I can. I will."
Dude, I would have paywalled, dude. If I built
Yeah,
a
I don't
framework,
think he's.
people talk to
I
me, I would have
think,
paywalled the
man, all of
docs.
these
You have to
like
pay 99 cents
Christian
to read docs.
US-based framework builders, and there's so many of them. They
Yeah.
are so fucking selfless. It seems like it's just
Yeah, the
I don't know.
Remix.
It doesn't seem like a business to me. Maybe
Yeah.
it is, and you're
Remix is
right.
like that as well.
But I don't think the motivation behind 10 Stack Start is anywhere close to a consulting thing. I don't think so.
It's not a business, yeah. It's just work. It's just like positive generative.
Yeah.
This is positive generative work.
Yeah.
Because
But
Remix
Remix
is like
is
that
fucking
as well.
Shopify, by the way. So I think Remix is actually different. I think Remix might actually be.
Well, yeah, but they
you
got
know.
hired.
I know you don't want to hear it because you like the guy, but
I think they got hired.
Am I cooking? Or
No,
what?
no. I think they got hired, and then once they get hired, they get like they got
I
like
already see the reply.
a safety net
the
to just
10
build
reply.
stuff in. You know what I mean?
You saw.
No, I don't.
In like 2
I
hours
don't
of
think
garbage.
we
Maybe.
we
Hopefully,
buried it in
right?
like
So I don't want to
2
see.
hours
I don't know
of
if you
awful-
saw them, Constantine, but
yeah. Because like back then, the reason he replied to you is because like the title was
Yeah.
like Tansack started from
So- Oh, it broke me. Like it actually broke me when he was like, "Oh, we can do better than this." And I was using it for the first time, right? So
I mean,
you
I don't
already
have any
know,
clue. I have just this naive questions from a non-really front-end guy.
No, it's just funny because we were shitting on him a bunch. Not on him, but on 10 Stack Start. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just like a docs thing, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean, right?
But
I think it takes time.
once-
They'll
'cause
cook
Corey
on it
has
for
amazing
like,
docs, right?
and
now.
then
Obviously,
I think
Corey's,
in a
like,
few
super
years,
old.
I can totally see 10 Stack Start
Yeah.
being go-to and just obviously Next has the cache and it has Vercel, but in the
Yeah.
long run, like I
Platform
don't
play.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the long run.
Yeah, honestly, Constant, we
would.
can wrap up earlier than 9.
Yeah, until 9 is fine for me. I just have to like walk the
I
dog
want to
and-
skip my tweet anyway because it's gonna kick off another discussion. We can do it next
Yeah,
week.
perfect. Then you have one for next week already.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think so. To wrap up, right?
Yeah.
I think what went well was the initial discussion. I think what also went well was the rant about Design Joy Man, whatever his name is. I think what didn't went to. I think the 10 Stack tweet was good in theory,
Yeah.
but I think it was like
Brett.
I think technically Constantine's tweet was better picked, right? Because it was like a normie.
Let's go. Are we making this a thing? Like we vote at the end and like
Yeah.
No, I just want to talk to you guys because this
Ja,
is the
gewonnen.
first. I think we should recap, right? Because
Yeah,
for next
sure.
week, I don't think we'll be on a. We can cut this out. I don't
Yeah.
fucking care.
Yeah.
But maybe because my tweet is also like technical, so
it's
maybe
fine,
we
yeah.
should. I don't know if we should do technical tweets. Should we
I
just
found
do
it,
hot
I
takes?
need to like. I found it interesting. I have no clue about that. I found it interesting. I'd say I was audience in
Gotcha.
this one, so I kind of liked
But-
it. But I
but
see your
it's-
point that it's kind of hard to like. It's kind of hit or miss. So
Yeah, because the thing is, I think
Yeah,
if we were
it should be a
talking about
normie.
front end,
Yeah.
it would be a great tweet, right?
Mhm.
But I just see a lot of people checking out, right? Like, and then also what I see, like a problem with this, I can talk about
Yeah,
any
yeah,
of these, except unified route tree. I can talk about this, but with these, I haven't seen it, right? So I don't even, But 10's like V1 as a news is
Yeah.
great.
It's difficult
right?
to.
I'm
give
just saying,
comments
like,
in, yeah.
my tweet also. I think Constantine's tweet is like we could
Yeah.
fill it an entire.
But it shouldn't
podcast
be the
with this
tweet.
right? Which I think that's why it's great. I didn't want to.
dude, like this track, every single rupee
Yeah.
that you spend sends me every time.
Yeah. And Indians get so much hate, but they also are kind of asking for it, right? That's what I like. It's just it has this like irony always. Like there are takes. It's
Yeah. I didn't even read that.
Because you already know that this is like also this is a fucking
It's funny
AI
as well.
generated thing, probably, right? Like at least it's like AI, give me a good topic for a tweet, right? It's based on finance, right? And you just
Yeah.
Cool.
well,
All right. But it was a fun one, I think. Next week we'll
Ugh.
I think it's always nice to have like everyone brings a tweet. We don't have to use all of them, right? If we're like already talked about one or two already, it's fine.
yeah, and we also like 1 hour late, right?
Yeah.
So I think we can. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we get better at it when it
Sure,
comes
yeah.
to segues, and also we don't have to keep that rigid structure, right? If
No.
it doesn't, for example, for the lovable agency stuff, we can just skip it, right? It's not bad. And then for next week,
Yeah.
do we want to bring on a guest? Because I would have someone. If
Yeah,
if
we
you
can
guys
do
want
so.
to.
I will have to. I'll write you guys soon because like I'm Monday. I'm going to holidays, and I think I should have time. Audio would be shitty, but whatever. Because I'm in like Oman and Qatar. Then I'm just not entirely sure about our like what we're doing on next Thursday. So I have to check that, and then I'll just let you guys know.
I want to bring on Alex. Somehow you know him. Konstantin, I don't know if you know him. I think so, right? Alex Strykov. Do you know him? He's a designer, a corporate designer guy.
Isn't he Bulgarian?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alexander. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He's like he sent me some really like nice information about Orthodox like
Yeah,
stuff.
we are. I think all three of us are aligned. Like 4 of us, I think we are on the same page when it comes to a lot of stuff. So I think it would work out great. And what I wanted to talk to him about was one tweet of his where he was talking about Figma Make. Because it's kind of the same thing, AI, vibe coding garbage. But it's interesting because I'm also not a corporate designer, right? I think it would be... And also we can talk about the design joy guy with him, maybe. Because, yeah. And I think this would be an interesting thing, right? So we can tie it back to this week. And we can have Alex on. If you're kind of checked out, Konstantin, like if the connection is bad, I think it's...
Dude, I'm going to Oman, not Germany. Like... Internet will be good there.
Do you have bad internet?
Dude, it's horrible. Honestly, like I'm next to a technology park, like one of the biggest like technology AI centers in like our region, and I can't talk to my co-founder on Teams while I walk through there because like network is too bad. I can't like have a call.
Because of them? Or
no, just because like we have shitty internet here.
In Vienna is pretty great, honestly. All of us, like all the people I talk to are on like gigabit connection.
Yeah, we're always like making jokes. Like when my parents, like my dad had holidays and they were in Switzerland. They were on like 3,200 meters, and my connection was cutting out while I was in the middle of the city. It was kind of
you guys are
crazy.
Like, yeah, that's weird because we kind of I feel like Austrians pressured their government to just get it done. You know? We had we had insanely bad connections also. But now, yeah.
You will also pay a fuck ton, but that may probably also be a topic for... Like, I'm paying like 60 per month for like 250. 250 is like 210 down,
hit it, right? Probably.
And like 30 up, and it's the fastest I can get.
Do you hit the 250 actually?
No.
Yeah, it's like 60, right? 50, 60.
Yeah. 190, something like that.
Yeah, I pay 50.
I also have I also have a Starlink here, so I have a failover connection because it's so bad that sometimes like my internet doesn't work at all. So
Jesus, no, I'm paying 50 and I'm on a gigabit connection.
Yeah.
So, and this is like,
is it like 60, symmetrical, like gigabit down and up, or just like down and like 200 up or something?
250 up, I think.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Which is private, way more than I would ever need, right? I'm not streaming in fucking 4K. No, it's pretty great, but in Tyrol I also had insane problems. Like I paid for 500k connection and I got like 80 or like 90 max. And insane latency, right? Like insane issues. It wasn't stable. But this is also a topic for another day, I guess, right?
It was already horrible back when I was gaming, dude. I always had like 2 connections, so you can always have a failover. It's kind of stupid.
Yeah, you were a pro gamer, right?
Yep.
I didn't...
Somewhat. Like semi something.
Not great in Germany. Not great.
All right, guys.
Okay. Let's see if we get any good clips out of this.
I marked some like I put 2 markers down so we can see. So maybe it's something in there.
I can already see is it going to be his downfall?
Yeah, potentially.
And we tag Tanner, and he's gonna be sad again. But yeah. Okay, let's wrap up. We're just gonna meet. Are we gonna meet before? No, right? We just prepare our things.
Yeah, I think it would be a cool thing. Let's just open a Google slide and everyone can just slap on something on the slide.
Stuff onto it. I'm gonna invite Alex probably also for next week.
Yeah.
And cool.
That's cool.
Do you mind if I just add people to the group chat, or do we not?
Yeah.
Do we not want that? Should I open
Let's
up
make
a separate one? Make a second one. Yeah, cool. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Then see you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Yeah. All right. Peace out, everyone. Goodbye.